Namaste and a very warm welcome to our channel Rusty Traders. In this video of ours, we are going to cover a very important indicator that is widely used in the financial markets. We are going to talk about the RSI. So let's begin. In this session, we are going to cover as to what is RSI, what is the math behind it, how to use the RSI, what are its limitations, and what is RSI divergence. Our whole focus has always been on delivering the practical aspect of the topic that we discuss. The theoretical aspect is, yes, important, but how to apply the concept in the real world is the most important thing, and we plan to do the same. So let's start. What is RSI? RSI just stands for Relative Strength Index. It is a momentum indicator that is plotted on the chart, and it indicates the strength of the prevailing trend, maybe be it uptrend or downtrend, any kind of trends. It indicates how strong that particular trend is. It is widely used to find the entry and exit zones for the financial instruments, which basically means what is the right level to enter and what is the right level to exit. RSI could be used in a fantastic way to do the same. What is the arithmetic behind it? Can I plot the RSI in Excel? Yes, you can do it. It's pretty simple. RSI basically as a function of n is calculated as 100 minus 100 by 1 plus RS, where n is the period of the RSI. When you say the period of the RSI, if I want to find let's say RSI for the 14 days, so for me n will be 14, and the RS, as the formula suggests, is nothing but the average upper and the ratio of the average upper and average lower, where average upper is nothing but the average of all up moves in the last n price bars. N will be whatever you choose, whatever duration you want. Similarly, average lower is average of all down moves in the last n price bars. Widely used RSI period by a lot of traders is 14, and it is recommended that we also keep the same number. Now, this is where the practical aspect comes into picture. How now, with a single click, everybody can plot RSI on the charts. A lot of charting platforms are available that get it done for you. But what is important is, how does one read? How does one decipher as to what is the RSI telling you? So RSI basically ranges from 0 to 100, with 30, 50, and 70 being very important levels. If RSI is less than 30, it indicates that the particular instrument is in an oversold zone. If the RSI is greater than 70, it indicates that the instrument is in overbought zone. Simple and a very powerful technique that I also use is to buy when RSI bounces from sub 30 levels and sell, which is close your position that you have entered once it touches 70. Also, you open a short position when RSI retraces below 70 from a higher level and cover that short position once it touches 30. All this implementation of the strategy that was just shared with you could be done on an intraday basis, which is a 5-minute chart or a 15-minute chart, on a swing term in a swing trade, or in a positional trade also. So just because of the beauty of RSI, in the sense that you can apply it to any time frame, it is widely used and widely implemented. You can apply RSI to any instrument. When I say any instrument, you can plot the RSI on the charts of stock, on the charts of indices, on the charts of currencies, on the charts of commodities, any financial instrument that you want to trade. It can also be applied to any time frame, as we discussed. You can have RSI plotted on 5-minute, 15-minute, half an hour, hourly, 4-hourly, daily, weekly, monthly, yearly charts also. So let me explain what did I mean by entering once the RSI bounces from sub 30 levels. So what we are saying here is, let's say RSI was at at 65, and then slowly it came down to 60, 50, 40, 30, 25. All right. So now it came down to 25, and now it started to move up from 25 to, let's say, 29 and 30, 31, 32. Now this is the place where you initiate your buy position. You do not initiate when it was coming from 65 to 30. You do not enter there. You have to allow it to go down, which is below 30. And once it retraces above 30, that is when you enter your buy position. And generally, all the positional traders wait for it to go to 70, and that is where they close it. Mind you, it is not necessary for you to do that, but a lot of traders close it at 40, 45, 50 based on their trading strategy. Similarly, you short when RSI goes from 70, let's say 65, 68, 70, 75, 78, any level above 70, you do not enter the short there. You allow it to go up, and then once it comes down below 70 after moving up, which is, let's say it went from 65, 68, 72, 75, 78, then it again came down to 75, 70, 68. Now you enter the short trade. You do not enter when it was going up. You allow it to retrace back to sub 70 levels, and then you initiate the short, and then you cover it once it touches 30, or you can cover it when it touched 50 or 60 or 65 based on your trading strategy. So let us understand with a practical example. What I have is a 5-minute intraday chart of Nifty. So let's understand this with an example. So if you see, what we are showing here is at this particular level, the RSI was at around 46.96. So as the Nifty started coming down, the RSI also did the same thing. So if you see here at this particular level, the RSI is already below 30. So we are not telling you to buy at this levels. What we are telling is, once it goes down below 30 and retraces above 30, you enter here. This is where the buy trade should get initiated, and not here. Okay, you have to allow it to go below 30 and then allow it to come above 30, and that is where you initiate your buy. Yes. Is there a guarantee that this thing cannot go down? There is no such guarantee. It can definitely go down. That is why you put your stop losses. That is why you have a proper risk management in place. But these are high probability places where you can initiate a buy. So I am entering my positions here. So if you see, there are a lot of moving averages that I have plotted. So I entered at this level around 99.70, and a lot of people would get out here. A lot of people would wait for RSI to touch 50, which it did at around this, which is what, 99, 99.90, 99.95, this level they would get out. But a lot of positional traders would sit there and they'll ride this whole wave. Apologies. So they will close their trades here when the RSI touched 70. That is what we said. So any trader can close their positions at any point in time depending on their trading strategy. But what we told here is, you enter once the RSI retraces from sub 30 levels, and you close your position once it touches 70. At least I will do that. Does it mean that once it has touched 70, it cannot go up? No, there is no such guarantee. But these are the ways in which the RSI works. These are high probability trades or high probability places where the trades can happen. See, always remember, markets are all about probabilities. Anything can happen in the market, but I prefer doing this. So I hope I have cleared this idea of a buy and a sell trade. When are those supposed to be initiated and when are they supposed to be closed? Again, if you see, this thing went above 70, and then once it came below 70, you initiate your short trade here. You do not initiate it at any levels here. You wait for it to come down, retrace it below 70, and that is where you enter your short trades. This is an example of an index. Let's take another example. This time we are going to cover an example that takes a stock into consideration. We have a daily chart here of DLF. So here, if you see, we have got a sell signal in this particular example. So it from here to here, it traded above 70 for a very long time. And if you see the price action, it also gave you the same thing. So if you would have sold here, probably would have caught unawares and the stop losses would have got hit. Always put the stop losses. So on the daily chart, I got a sell signal here. Once it retraced below 70, so I initiated my short here. Mind you, this is a daily chart of DLF. And once it got initiated, I just waited. I shorted here, and if you see, bang on, you see this move that you captured. It was almost a 15 to 18% move. But these are trades taken on a positional basis, and as this is a sell trade, you cannot do it in the cash market. You would have to go into derivatives, and it is a tad risky, so you have to be very careful when you do that. But coming back to the concept here, if you see, we initiated a short here, and if you see how fabulously DLF came down. So I would have closed my trades here, or I would have closed my trades here once it touched 30. Okay, so once it touched 30, which means I would have captured a move from around 260 to what, around 190, 185, 186. Not a bad move, right? So in a month's time, DLF dropped by around what, 20, 25, 25%? Yeah, 25%. So this is the power of the RSI. So you initiate a short once it retraces below 70, and I would close my trades at 30. Mind you, I would not open a new position at 30. All right. I would allow it to go down, and then once it retraces, I would enter my buy position. Okay. So see, if you would have entered at this, which is around 180 level, you see what is the drop that you witness, around 124, another 60 points, around 33% gone on DLF. So you do not enter it there. You wait for it to retrace above 30, and that is when you enter a new buy position. All right. I hope I have made myself clear with these two examples. This is how you practically apply the RSI. Now, what are the limitations of RSI? A stock can stay in an overbought zone, which is RSI greater than 30, for a substantial amount of time. This behavior is typically seen in an instrument which is in an uptrend. Similarly, a stock can stay in an oversold zone, which is RSI less than 30, for a substantial amount of time, which is probably seen in a downtrending market. And hence, the fundamental quality that one should have is of being very, very patient. Do not be impatient and jump in just because RSI is not coming up or RSI is not going down. Do not do that. Follow your fundamentals, follow your discipline. Unless until you see RSI retracing from sub 30 levels or 70 levels, in the sense going up from 70 levels and then coming down, do not initiate a buy or a sell trade respectively. Do not do that. RSI is a tad lagging indicator up to a certain extent, but is one of the best indicators that you have. Remember, should you use RSI on a standalone basis? The answer is no. Never ever do that. You should always use the RSI with other indicators. RSI is not a foolproof indicator. It gives you an edge up to a certain extent, but is it foolproof? No, it is not. So do not use RSI on a standalone basis. Use it with MACD, which we will discuss in our sessions to come. Use it with oscillators, but do not use it on a standalone basis. So we are explaining what we have just discussed. Why should you use RSI on a standalone basis? Let's understand with the chart. So we're going to charts here. Now, if you see, what are we showing here? This is the 24th of March 2020. So we all know how the markets dropped on account of the spread of corona. So if you see, the market is slowly coming down, and these are different RSI levels. Your focus should be here. This is the RSI figure. I'm using the software called Investor. This is the basic version of Investor. So this is the RSI. if you see, if you focus on the RSI levels, so all these levels are what, sub 30. This is 14, this is 15, this is 18. If you see, they have been coming down consistently, but they are still below 30. Should I enter? No, I should not enter. But let me show you something. Let me go a, a tad back. Before doing that, if you see, you have got a buy signal here at 8317. This is the daily chart of Nifty, and on the 25th of March it closed at 8317, and that level was never seen since then. So that is how powerful the RSI is. It sometimes gives you the exact bottom, but not every time. So let me go back a little. So if you see, on this particular day, which is the 3rd of March, RSI gave a small a buy signal on the back of a retracement that was shown. At that time, the levels of Nifty were 11,300. Imagine 11,300, and the markets made a low of 7,500. So a 2,800 drop. Okay, so that is why we say RSI has its own limitation. You should not use it on a standalone basis. What I have here is I have MACD, and I have plotted it here. So basically at that time MACD was in the divergent mode, and I waited for it to give a buy here. Rather, it started converging from this point, and hence this level was trustworthy compared to this level. Yes, we can always look back and give out lengthy explanations, but it was fairly simple and easy to understand that just because my Mac had given a sell and it was on the divergence journey, this buy signal on the RSI had a low probability. So that is why we are saying that use RSI with other indicators, do not use it on a standalone basis. Hope it helps. This particular level was never seen. If you see from the 25th of March, we have seen the market go up, and this was when the sell was generated at 10,700 on the 8th of July. And if you would have had a positional view, then you would have been able to capture quite a fabulous move of around 2,000, 2,200, 2,300. So if you see, markets have given you shallow dips. All right, shallow dips. They have again not retraced back to 30, and that is why we say that you should not always wait for it to go to 30. A lot of people trade it or end it at important levels shared by the moving averages, or they close their positions if the RSI comes near 50. At this point in time, it came down to 50 to 53. So a lot of people do that. So there is no specific judgment or word as to where you should close it. Intraday traders probably would close it immediately. Positional traders would wait for a very long time. Short-term traders, swing-term traders, all have different durations. It all depends on your trading methodology, your risk management style. So this is the last date, which is the 28th of August, and if you see, the RSI is at 71.17. If you carefully see, I'm using RSI of the duration as 14. So as I said, this is what a lot of traders use, so I prefer using the same. So with this example, hope we have understood how to practically apply. Now, what is RSI divergence? RSI divergence basically means that RSI does not follow what the underlying index does. When I say the underlying index, it could be underlying instrument. I mean, is that if the price of the index or the share is going up, RSI does not do. In the sense, if the stock makes a new high, RSI does not do that. It gives a very, very, very useful insight when this kind of behavior happens. What are the kind of divergences? There are two kinds of divergences, bullish and bearish. So what is a bearish divergence? A bearish divergence is nothing but when the instrument makes a higher high, but the RSI does not do that. It indicates a loss of momentum and a sign of a decline in price of the instrument waiting to happen in the days to come. Similarly, a bullish divergence occurs when the instrument makes a lower low, but the RSI does not, which indicates that buying interest is emerging, and in the days to come, you might get an up move. RSI divergences serve as fabulous entry and exit points provided you are able to spot them. So let's understand this with examples again. So if you see at this juncture, we have got a sell signal. We have got another sell signal on the RSI. So I'm going to consider these two levels, 1 and 2. So the markets made, this is a chart for Nifty, a daily chart of Nifty. If you see, a higher high was made on the Nifty. But if you see the divergence, the RSI did not make a higher high. Compared to this level, it was at a lower level, which indicated that this particular move on the upside was not supported by enough momentum, and in the coming days to come, you might get a downward move. So if you see, this is why this divergence is beautiful signal for all the traders. So if you would have been able to understand, oh, this is a divergence that is happening, you would have been able to make use of it on the short side and capture what, around 700 points on the Nifty. Again, this is a positional trade from this to this levels. So if you see, again, it touched 30 and I would have closed my positions here. So let's take the example for RSI bullish divergence. So on the bullish divergence front, if you see here, this and this points, at this point a lower low is made compared to this level. But what about the RSI? The RSI is almost at the same level or just a tad high. So in that sense, this is a bullish divergence, and in the days to come, you can expect the market to go up, which it eventually did. And again, I would have closed, the positional traders would have closed their positions at these levels. So this is the beauty of the RSI. You enter here, you exit here. You enter, once it retraces from sub below 30 levels, you close your positions once it touches 70, and vice versa. So we hope this particular session on the RSI has proved to be insightful for you, and going forward, you would be patient enough for the RSI to touch 30 levels or 70 levels on 5-minute, 15-minute, half an hour, 1 hour, daily, monthly, weekly, yearly, any charts that you follow. Mind you, if you make this small change of being patient and entering only at the boundaries, your profitability or your success ratio in the markets would go up substantially. Second thing is RSI an indicator that one can completely trust? No. If RSI was such an indicator, then this particular move that happened on the downside would have never happened after it gave a buy signal. That is where the whole idea of stop losses comes into picture. Important things to remember, as we have discussed, not all indicators including RSI are 100% precise, and hence one should always have a stop loss. Stock markets are all about probabilities, and using RSI gives you highly probable entry and exit zones. You should always use the RSI along with other indicators. On that note, we bring this session of ours to an end. If you have loved this video, if this video has increased your trading quotient by a few notches, do like, subscribe, and share this video with your friends. Let the knowledge spread. Till then, take care, be safe, God bless you. Cheers, goodbye.